Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. Happy hump day to you. How you doing? Listen, it's the end of the night shift week, and what an end to this week is going to be. We are in for a treat. So, call your friends, tell your friends, let them know, drag them over, whichever way. We have a super special guest on the show tonight, and I'm so looking forward to this. But until then, kicking it off with some brand spanking new music to me, and I'm pretty sure to some of you. This is out of Enzo, featuring Busy Signal. Some of you may recognize this voice. I say, wait a minute. This is not the name that goes with this voice.
Saturday night, take me somewhere that I've never been yet. Flashing lights, colors in the air I'll never forget. When I see that, I don't want the night to end. Caught up in your trance, waiting for my chance tonight. Give me everything you got, baby, it's alright. Pour me one more glass. All I know is after tonight, I don't wanna go home sober. Take my keys from me, you drive. I don't wanna go home sober. All I know is after tonight, I don't wanna go home sober. Take my keys from me, you drive. I don't wanna go home sober.
Do you want to go home? As we approach the carnival strong end.
Where do broken heart people go? I can hear them from down below. Where do broken heart people go? I just want you to take away my pain. Nobody will know, 'cause tonight I wanna be tamed by you. All I know is after tonight, I don't wanna go home sober. Take my keys from me, you drive. I don't wanna go home sober. All I know is after tonight, I don't wanna go home sober. Take my keys from me, you drive. I don't wanna go home sober.
Tonight we now go home sober. Roll up a big spliff, man, a high roller. Roll out the rover, pull over. Girl get cock up, then we drive her like a chauffeur. Drink what you drinking, smoke what you smoke, but tonight we ain't going home sober. Intoxicated after the party, you probably have to call it over. Drinks, party every day. Turn up the music and make it play. Yeah, she start dance for me. Whispering in my ears, and she say, love off this swagger, she love off this style. Girl belly flat like she just get a life. Now leaving sober, even when the party over. Mash it up with insured by guy.
Don't you know that I'll be on weekend?
Enzo, featuring Busy Signal. It's called Sober.
Happens here, stay right here.
I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment. When being in the moment is priceless, whatever the moment, If you just want to capture something, if you want to do like what I'm doing right here, right now, streaming live and on a secure medium, Pulse Media Group can hook you up. 754-999-6020 is the number to call, number to text. Don't text them, just call them. 754-999-6020. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. Now, the moment that many of you have been waiting for. Marlon, big ups to you. Wicked, wicked, wicked show as usual, sir. Nice interview with Naomi Cohen. As promised, tonight we're gonna be chatting with a young lady that I truly believe is a real survivor. You know, you hear people talking about, hey, you know, I'm a survivor of this, I'm a survivor of that, I'm a survivor of the next thing. We're gonna find out what she's a survivor of. We're gonna hear her story. We're gonna hear what she's into and what the mission is. If you want to call in and chat with her as we are doing this, you can call 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. And of course, the chat room is available as StewPot. Let's go to kevinstew.com. I want to say thanks to all the listeners wherever you are in the world, rockthebox.net. If you're tuned in on TuneIn Radio, the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, rockthebox.net. PEMGTV.com is also available. But of course, the home of the Night Shift, kevinstew.com. That's the place to be. So without further ado, this young lady has been waiting patiently. And I'll keep her waiting no longer. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ari Safari.
Hello. I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you.
How are you, Ari?
I'm doing well.
Now, I met this young lady Saturday night. And it was at this little event. And I had no idea what I was in for going to this event. Earlier this week, you heard me talking to Alana Da Costa of Creative Uprising. I went in support of Alana and of a group you've heard me play on this show, Wild Tree. That was what I went for. What I got was more than I bargained for. Including this young lady here. Ari, you are a poet. Let's get started with that.
Yes, and thank you for that. Before I do get started, I do want to say thank you to Alana Da Costa and Nikki Lopez, because it was during her art exhibit. You know, I wouldn't be here tonight connected with Kevin if it wasn't for them. But yeah, I do spoken word. Mm-hmm. So I performed throughout open mics, art events in South Florida. And I started doing spoken word just to bring awareness, but also sharing my story living with mental illness. So I cope with depression. I have been diagnosed with manic depression. So my poetry kind of brings you into my life in that kind of way. And I also like to tell people that I'm someone that's going through this at the moment, you know, like I'm growing through and healing. So I feel like that's why some people connect to my poetry, because we're all kind of going through some growing pains in a way.
Right. Now, you on the show, or I don't even want to call it a show, during the exhibit, the presentation
The open mic, yes.
on well, it's more than just an open mic, and that's why I don't want to call it to limit it to that
Hmm.
because of everything else that was involved in making it what it was. So I'd prefer to refer to it as an exhibit. It's an exhibit of the arts. So I'd like to refer to it as that. Um, you mentioned that you have been doing this for a little while now. Just tell us exactly how long you've been doing your poetry. You've been doing poetry.
I started writing when I was in third grade, and that was mainly to learn English. I was born in Puerto Rico, so Spanish is actually my first language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I started performing around 4 years ago, and it was because I turned a suicide note into a poem.
Mm.
And during some hard times, I cope through arts, whether it's music, whether it's writing poetry, that's how I heal. So at that time, I turned that poem into I turned the note into a poem, and then I turned it into a video and shared it online, and people started sharing it. So after that, I said, I'm going to, I got to open up because there's so many people that are so silent about it. So I've been doing it for at least 4 years now.
Now, you said you turned a suicide note into a poem.
Yes. So, like you were saying earlier, we're all survivors in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 13, I attempted suicide. So it was something that, I had with me from my younger years. So, um, I speak with it too because, when I was growing up, I wish I was more in touch with myself, like self-aware with what was going on with me so that I could communicate with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, it's a little bit more difficult to communicate with kids now. So I feel like by sharing my story, maybe whoever's listening, whether it's a parent or a child, they'll be able to reach out and ask for help, or maybe parents would listen to their kids and pay attention to them a little bit more to see what's going on in their life while they're away.
All right. So let's get to know you a little bit more. What was it
Hmm.
that led you to the point of saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm at 13. What led you to this point?
I was going through problems with family at home, and I didn't really have any resources. I didn't really know what to do. My parents really weren't around either to do much, and they tried their best, but it was, I really can't tell you. I mean, what does a 13-year-old doesn't really know much about life. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was just like I said, I should have just reached out to my parents, let them know what's going on. But I was getting bullied at school. I was, not doing very well with notes. My, I wasn't around my family. So it was a lot of things going on. And I also had a fear of abandonment. So I
Mm.
feel like maybe if the school system would teach you a little bit more how to take care of yourself, maybe it would have been a little bit different. You know,
Right.
school teaches you a lot, but they don't teach you how to deal with despair and stress and all of that. We kind of have to learn on our own.
So you had actually made the attempt.
I got hospital. I was found unconscious and was taken to a hospital. I spent about 2 weeks. Um, They put tubes down my throat. I wasn't eating, so they had to feed me through tubes. Like I wouldn't. It's not something that anybody wants to go through,
Mm-hmm.
especially put their family through. Um, After that, they brought me into this. It was right there in the hospital, actually, but it was this. It's like a rehab place, and
Mm-hmm.
they take all your stuff. Like they take your shoelaces, they take all your clothes because you're under watch 24/7,
Right.
and they put you with all these people with the same conditions, or all the other survivors, and they won't let you out until they feel like you're not a danger. So I spent 2 years of my middle school years going through that. So I was
Two
also away from school.
2 years.
Yeah, in and out. So
Now, this type of experience is not something that a lot of people have come on this show and talked about. And let me tell you right now, I truly appreciate you doing this, um, and respect you for doing it also. So, in these 2 years that you were in this institution, what were some of the things that you had to go through? And
um,
with being in, well, you weren't in the facility for 2 years. You were in and out. You
in
said,
and out. Yeah, I had to go to an alternative school after that because it was hard to get back into school just because I had missed such amount of time being in the hospital and all of that.
right.
So yeah, I was in 2 years in and out of therapy after that. And it also didn't help that I moved a lot when I was younger. I moved from city to city, state to state, so I could never really like have what is it called, like an actual bond or relationship with like a therapist or something.
Right, right,
Because
right.
if I wasn't moving, they were leaving or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was your life. It was like I said, you lived there, you ate there, you went to school there. I remember like even calling your family, it was under surveillance. Like we had certain times that we could use the phone and like certain amount of calls that we could make. My family could only see me like once a week. So yeah, I was like, my experience at first, I was so not into that. I was not speaking, I was not participating. So that's also why it took so long, because I wasn't cooperating at first. And then after a while, I said, I don't have a choice. If I want to get here, out of here, I have to start
Mm.
sharing. And then you start, growing and learning and, realizing I would never want anybody to put themselves in that position. You know, there's, um,
While you were going through these sessions, were you still writing at this point, or was there a break any at all?
honestly, that's all you could really do at that point was either talk to other people
Mm-hmm.
or play these games that like these board games that they would give you, or they would give you pen and paper. And I would write, and at first I would write along to music lyrics and then change the lyrics to my lyrics, and then I would just write. And the spoken word really came as I'm older and I improved my writing. But when I was younger, it would be like maybe 4 or 5 lines a page, but it still got me through.
Yeah.
And it made me stronger too, as far as like intellectually. you know I was reading a lot, I was writing.
Now, what were the things that you would write about? Was it just that it was anything that you were seeing at the time, whatever it is you were feeling at the time, what you were hearing at the time? What was at that point your the thing that got you to write the most? Your
I had like two different styles of writing. I used to call them short stories. They're not really short stories, but back then I thought they were. And I used to write, I still do actually. I write in third person. So you think I'm
Hmm.
talking about another girl, but I'm really talking about myself. So I would write like fictional short stories like that. Or I would write, back in the days, my stuff was actually really dark. So it would be dark poetry and some suicidal poetry. And like I said, that was because that was my form of meditation. I didn't really was raised around that type of spirituality, so I had to. That's all I had was music to deal with stuff.
So you then got this material. Oh, what was it that made you say, okay, I've done this writing. I am going to start sharing it with some people.
It was when I started high school. I didn't necessarily think I'm going to share my writing, but I got involved in any extra activity that involved with anything in the arts.
Mm.
So I was like in the yearbook community, I was in the newspaper, I was in the morning announcements. So I was still expressing myself through different ways. And then at the beginning, when I was like 15, after this situation, I actually started making YouTube videos. So
Mm.
I was actually doing all of this before I knew what I was doing. And
Right.
it was until I got older where I realized, my voice has so much power. I want to like, use it for good. And that's when I realized I can do spoken word. I mean, I'm still growing with the spoken word, but
Right.
it's something that I challenged myself and I enjoyed it. I actually started at the gallery that we met at, four
Okay.
years ago. That was my first performance ever.
Nice.
So,
So let me. Well, of course, this is truly a real personal conversation that we're having. Um, as it relates to your family, were they there with you when you got hospitalized?
when I was hospitalized, I just had moved to Georgia, and most of my family, except my mom, was actually still in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Um, so it was actually my stepdad who found me unconscious in the
Hmm.
bed. And my mom did come, to the hospital and was there through the whole process.
Right.
But yeah, they didn't see it coming.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't want to go too much into details because I don't
Yeah.
know who's listening and I don't want to give them any ideas. But yeah,
Right.
it wasn't very pretty.
Right. That side of it, we can hold
Yeah.
off on, but the other side of it, the part that you have decided that is going to become your focus, well, a part of your focus, the part that you speak so intensely about not wanting to anybody to go through that, because at this point now, there I can expect there's a level of awareness after the fact. So were you doing the things that people would say would be crying out for help, or did you bottle everything in?
Yeah.
Which one?
So,
Okay, go ahead.
which one?
Yeah, were you bottling it in?
Oh, yes. And I think we all have something we bottled it at one point in time or
Mhm.
still are holding in. And that's why my poem says you got to learn when to like let go of things. And me, I'm a Pisces, so it's really hard for me to let go. And that's still one of the hardest, lessons in life that I'm going through. Like you got
Mhm.
to let things go. If you want to move on and do better, you got to let it go. Whether it's your fault or not, you always have to, let things go. And I think that's the difference now because I still battle with depression, but now when I feel that I'm going into that phase, I reach out to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and I may not verbally say, hey, I'm depressed, but they can tell by the way I'm talking, or even if we talk about something else, I'm reaching out. I'm making sure I'm still like here, like I'm not at least isolating, because depression does that too. Like you tend to isolate yourself from the world,
Right.
and it's nothing against the world. It's just something that comes like a dark cloud over us. There's no motivation. We just can't. We know we got to get things done, but we just can't do it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So now you're at the point where you recognize that that is happening. You feel
Yeah.
it. You feel it coming on, and you start reaching out.
You reach out. You write if you don't want to reach out. Write, do something, and I still go to therapy in and out when
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through something. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
This
I
is a crazy
I
world. We need a
am
mental
I'm
check.
all for it. I'm all for it. I
Yeah.
speak about it constantly. That I say it. If you haven't done so, go ahead. People go to the dentist. People go to the general practitioner.
Mhm.
But more often than not, people don't go to see a therapist because they think you have to be crazy or something to be seeing a therapist. And but it only makes sense if you're gonna take care of your body. You take care of your whole body, and your mind is a part of that.
Yeah.
So it
Mm.
only makes sense. All right, so I'm all for that. So and this is a totally judgment free zone. So you don't even have to worry about making statements like that at all.
Yeah, and another thing too about being like self-aware, it's okay to like be like, it's okay. I have a mental illness. Like,
Hmm.
it's the best. Like, I've never been so free until I started sharing my story, to be honest,
Ah,
because this is who I am.
yes.
And this is why I'm here today. So it's okay to like admit to your flaws. Sometimes it's, yeah, it's better.
Hey, I'm all for it. I want to say thanks to Policy Media Group for sponsoring that initial segment of the show. As we move into the second segment, yeah, we're not gonna. Well, maybe we should take a break. You want a quick break, Ari? Because I am fine. I can go on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
It's
cool.
up to you.
So we're rolling through. We're not even gonna take a break because I know people are listening in, and I don't even want to disrupt their note taking because I'm pretty sure some people are taking notes. All right, so what I really want you to do for me right now, putting you on the spot, is one of your pieces, and you quoted one just now.
It hurts to grow. Yeah.
It hurts the girl.
Yep, that's the one I just quoted. I wrote that during a depressive moment,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, my poetry used to be really dark, and now I turned that dark into something light and inspirational. So, "It Hurts to Grow" would be an example of that. Um, you want me to share it?
Please do.
Okay. It hurts to grow sometimes. I'm not just talking about physical growth. I'm talking about spiritual growth too. And it hurts because sometimes you just got to learn when to let go. Let go of people, places, things, ideas, and even wishes that just no longer serves a purpose in our lives. And I like to equate these growing phases to the way a snake sheds its skin, or the way a mystical phoenix burns to ashes just to be reborn again. And I often feel like a caterpillar withdrawing back into my self-made cocoon, where here I transform and complete another internal metamorphosis. And even though it gets dark and cramped in there sometimes, the rewards I receive after I emerge are probably the most beautiful thing you could ever hope for. And I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I am breaking out of my shell, or should I say, coming out of my cocoon, where soon I'll be able to place my head under the sun and smile and mean it. And I'm getting there. By grace, there's something bigger than myself. And even though it hurts, nothing is worth having for without a little sacrifice. So welcome to the hurt. From it we grow, and we grow strong. And that is called It Hurts to Grow.
Yeah, have to give the snaps up in here. You know.
Yeah, you got it right. The poetry vibe.
Yeah, yeah. It hurts to grow. You know, I on your on one of your social media pages, I noticed you had that image with the title "It Hurts to Grow," and let me see, I have that image here somewhere, and
Oh, Dre Doe photography. Yes. Where I'm like sitting in a chair.
yeah, the one that you're sitting in the chair, that I have it up right now, and I probably should have put this up as you read that poem, as you presented that piece, because with the imagery, I that was just well captured. Um, Big ups to the photographer again. What's her name?
Dre Doe.
Trader.
And she's on Facebook under Dre Doe. And yeah, since like that photo shoot actually, we did that photo shoot this beginning of this year on I want to say February, and the reason she's an awesome photographer and we worked together before, but the reason we did this photo shoot is because I lost my grandma around Christmas, so I wasn't doing very well. And like I said, I cope through art, and I've challenged myself not just with writing but with modeling and acting.
Oh,
So,
nice.
I had a friend who was like with me during that time, and she reached out and we ended up making some awesome photos. So yeah, shout out to Dre though for that.
Nice, nice. Now, are you putting a compilation together, whether a book or a recording? Are you
Right
doing anything
now,
like that right now, or looking to do it?
yeah, right now I am moving forward. I am releasing some new poetry, and I'm gonna release some videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But really, my main focus is I still want to not bring I want to bring awareness. That's like the main message behind
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mm-hmm.
whether I'm performing or not.
Right.
So I'm working on merchandise for my brand, and with some of the proceeds, we are looking. So if you know anybody, we're looking for a specific family or individual that is like struggling with affording mental health services or medication, but an individual, because I'm one person and we're starting small right now.
Right, right.
So yeah, and hopefully with this, organizations that actually do have the tools start paying attention and maybe start donating like their actual resources, whether it's a brochure or something that we can give out with the merchandise.
Nice. Um, who do you have helping you with this? Who are the people that you have in your corner? That's are you doing this independently?
I feel like nobody ever does anything alone. Like I have an art family.
Mm-hmm.
This is my brand, my story, but I wouldn't be like with you right now. It wouldn't have been without Alana, Creative Uprising, and Nikki Lopez. But I have a wonderful lady named G. Wright, who is a producer for The Art Woman, which was actually the first open mic, as I mentioned earlier, that I ever performed.
Yeah.
And they support me throughout the way. I have my friends. I have, the photographer. I have Font Graphics. So I really have friends that not only support me business-wise, but also when I'm not doing so well mentally. So that's why they're a family.
Yeah. I was earlier this week on the show, in one of the shows, I talked about that, and I think it was probably on Monday when I was talking to Alana, and I mentioned just that sometimes there are people that come into your life that you just can't call them anything else but family,
Hmm.
because there are even times when some of these people are closer than your blood relatives,
Oh yeah.
and you're quicker to turn to them than to those blood relatives. So I'm even grateful that you have that support system, both to move forward to spread what you're trying to do, and for yourself.
Hmm.
Now,
And I do believe in the saying that says certain people are put in your life for a reason too. So
yes, nothing happens by accident.
yeah.
So, you catching my ear as you presented Saturday night, that was no accident. I saw you milling around in the gallery, and I didn't really think anything of it, but somehow you just kept on popping up and some kind of standing out. And then you went up in the open mic section, and that was it. That at that point, that was it.
And I'm
And
glad you said that because I tell people you never know who's in the crowd, whether it's 10 people or 100. You never know who's in the crowd.
yeah.
So, and they look at me crazy and look.
But they also say, you when they're talking about crazies, crazy recognize crazy. So uh, I can recognize my own peeps. you know.
I feel you.
um, not really calling you crazy, just
Oh, I'm crazy. Crazy could be a good way too. Crazy is
so
when someone is crazy and they believe they're not crazy.
right. Those are the real ones. Now, what? Where are some of the places that you have gone to share and to encourage since you've started doing this?
I've had the opportunity to perform at a couple open mics. I've been able to go to Miami and even New Orleans.
Hmm.
Um, and then I've done a lot of LGBT prides as well and rallies. But I mostly catch myself doing more safe space events, which is an example of like What's Your Elephant, where we met, where people come for a specific cause.
Right,
And I feel like that's more powerful because people are more comfortable in sharing their actual stories versus putting on a show.
right.
So, so yeah, so, and then I'm a lot on social media because, mental health is worldwide. I was speaking with a lady from Nigeria, and to hear their struggle is the same. We're so different. Like her card said that night, we're so different, but same at the same time, or
Right.
alike at the same time.
Hmm. Because
So, yeah.
if you close your eyes and talk to someone, you never really know their features, but you get to know the person.
Hmm.
And the ones that you connect with, you can connect with people halfway across the world and have never seen them, but you have that connection.
Yes.
So this superficial thing that we come across and we hold on to because of our physical eyes, it 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 somehow always manages to restrict us.
Mm-hmm.
What
And
do So you want to help starting out one family or one individual? I guess if you say one family, you're talking about one small family.
yeah, a family versus going directly to an organization.
Hmm.
I would rather go to. a family first and start that way.
But in an organization, you could find a family inside that organization, couldn't you?
Yes, so that's why I'm saying that's the plan that we're still working on.
Okay.
We have everything ready, and we're just looking for the right. You know, it's so funny. We know that there's a lot of people out there that need help, but where are they? Kind of situation. So we're just working on that, and it's
Hmm.
really about the message because I feel like trying to think of the name. There's the movie Pay It Forward where you basically do
Right.
something for somebody and they got to do it.
Yes.
So basically that, except if they're comfortable with what they're comfortable sharing with, I would like them to share a story or some of their stress, their struggles,
Hmm.
and kind of continue that chain of line so that people talk about it more. Um,
So one of the main things you want people to do is to speak up more.
yeah, because I feel like, especially the young, my generation, I feel like we bottle things in and we act like everything is okay,
Hmm.
but things are not.
Right.
So I feel like if we do speak about it more, maybe we could be understanding of each other a little bit more. Because that was my problem growing up. I could have reached out to my mom. I could have said, this is what's going on, and this is why I'm getting in trouble in school. And it's not because, I'm a bad child. So
Do you think she would listen?
I can't answer that question because I never tried.
Yeah. Because I'm wondering. I asked that because I had a conversation with my younger son a few weeks ago. He's 9, and he said he had gotten in trouble at school for the first time. And he said, I asked him, what was going on, and he said, you wouldn't understand. And I had to quickly take that moment to say, well, here you have the opportunity to make me understand, to try me, first of all, to see if I would, because you haven't tried me yet. So try. Let me see if would understand. And we had a good little discussion and we managed to move forward. So I ask you that because, and hearing you say that, it makes me think, geez, how many other people out there are thinking, geez, I won't talk, I won't say anything to someone because they don't know what I'm going through. And unless you know what I'm going through, you won't understand. Unless you've been through it, unless you're experiencing it right now, you're not going to understand. And
right.
you said that you were bullied.
Yeah.
And October is, they're recognizing anti-bullying for October.
Yes.
So in a time like this, I'm thinking that you're gonna be reaching out to a whole lot of people. Do you specifically want to reach out to teens and preteens?
My goal is to eventually, yes, start working a little bit more closely with the youth. I want to heal a little bit more because I did say that I'm actually still in my healing journey. Like I'm
Right,
still going through.
right,
So I have
right,
to
right.
take it easy from time to time. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, yes, and like to be honest, right now I have messages in my inbox from all types of ages, different demographics. So right now it's to whoever is listening because depression doesn't have a face
Mhm, mhm.
or an age. So, but I do want to, in the future, I do want to work, hands on with the younger generation.
Now, there is something else that you're involved in, and I saw this image and I was like, this is interesting. So maybe I'm gonna have to speak to someone else about this also. But I have up now, if you're not seeing it, you wearing this T-shirt that says "slut or nut."
Yes, so
What is that about?
that that's in that's helping, that's in support and promotion for Slaughter Not the movie, which is by my friends Kelly Shoker and Mandy Gray, and it's basically Mandy's story with her rape trial. And now with what's going on in the news,
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot of women speaking about that. And I was actually connected to her also at the 1310 gallery. At the gallery, I did a film called Cali Matina with the 1310 Bandits,
Mm-hmm.
and she notes the director. So I guess she saw the photos, of Dre Doe, and saw the other photos and my images, and asked me to go ahead and do a photo shoot. So I say this once again: you never know who's there, and you'll
Right,
never
right,
know
right.
where it could take you. Like I'm not, I'm very lucky to be able to say I am a poet, I guess a model now, and an actress. So that's really cool. Like, what was I thinking? You never know where life could, if you give it a chance, life is not so bad sometimes.
Yeah, and you're in a better position than most to actually say that, make that statement, and really make that statement from a position of being grateful to have that chance to see where life takes you. And I really believe that we are better off for you still being around, because and I know you're still going through a process, and I truly appreciate what you're doing in your process, in sharing of yourself, because now if you were to say to a parent asking you, what should I look out for, what are some of the things that comes to mind? Because
Oh,
someone making contact with you who is asking you this as an adult is going to come to you from a position of you have the experience.
behavioral changes in school, definitely. Um, Also, like with me, I went through some drastic changes, like wanting to cut my hair, changing certain things about me, um, isolation too. Um, and with me, I was more of a self-harm person, so like I will hide things. So like pay attention to like I want to say the body gestures of your children, like if you don't ever see them like sitting somewhere or showing certain things, they're probably hiding something.
Mm.
And how do you avoid all this? Communication. And I have a really close friend that's having a hard time communicating with her mom right now.
Yeah.
And she tried something different. She wrote a letter and read it at the dinner table because she felt more comfortable doing that. So now,
Mm.
like, communication doesn't always have to be the one way we think it has to be, like face to face. Like,
Right, right.
you can, I've communicated through my mom through an email with her being in the other room, like, just because it was more comfortable for me. So it's kind of like understanding how your child thinks too, or how not even child, someone thinks. Like,
Mhm.
everyone works differently, so it's trying to understand and just paying attention to how they act.
Um, if you'd be so kind, Ari,
Mhm.
could you share with us another piece?
Okay. I can end it with poetic justice, and I actually have this on my social media. Um, I want to write something great. A manual to eliminate hate, words that permeate so that we can create. I want to live in the love, be at peace, no longer feel the rub. You see, my life, my life is not wrong or worse than a song, and in all life's a new dawn. So rise like a phoenix, feel your soul burn. Ashes to memories, 'cause that's how we learn. And know who you are, because inside of you there's a star. We can go far, we don't even need a car. There's greatness in all, we rise and we fall. Some of us stall and don't even hear the call. But we all have the tools, even the fools. So you can't lock up minds for breaking your rules. Wisdom, power, how much do you make an hour? And does it really matter if your soul gets devoured by an angel, a devil? Some people are just next level, solving, evolving while the earth is revolving. The trumpets are sounding. Do you hear your calling? That's. You are ready for your next poetry event. You got to bring the
Whoa.
snaps, though.
I think I've been exposed recently.
That's funny.
Speaking of next event, do you have any appearances coming up anytime in the near future?
Yes, in October 19th, I'll be in Miami for an event called She Spoke.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a mixture of live art, poetry, and music. I can't remember the spot right now, but I'll post it soon on my social media. But it's in Miami.
Okay. And that's October 19th, you said?
19th, yes, I believe it's 2.5 weeks from
That's
today.
a Friday night.
Friday
Yes.
night, yes.
Okay. I'll definitely keep my ears and eyes open for that one. And anybody tuned in right now that would like to meet Ari Safari and to have a little chat with her, again, you can say hi right now. 773-789 Stu 773-789-7839. You can tell her hello right now. Don't be shy.
Hello.
I just got a message. Is she on right now? Yeah, she's on right now. You just
No.
missed a whole bunch of it.
They
Social
can go
media.
back on YouTube. They can go back on your website, right? There's
Yes.
different ways. I
Yeah.
think,
The
yeah.
archive will be there in the morning. You can go back and check out what Ari is saying. Social media. You mentioned your social media. How
Yes. So I'm under Instagram and Facebook under Ari Safari Poetry. And I'm under YouTube there. I just started my YouTube back, so I'll be slowly uploading new videos
mm,
on there. But everything is under Ari Safari. And
uh,
I'm very engaged into my social. Like I always respond and I always follow back. So yeah.
it's yes, it's true. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. She does follow back and she does respond. So you reach out to her. If you're reaching out to her thinking that she's not gonna respond to you, you're gonna get a response. Now, if you reach out favorably, you'll get a favorable response. But I don't think you'll get such a nice response if you reaching out crazy. I wouldn't respond favorably, so I don't expect her to. What
No.
what projects are you involved in right now, if any?
Right now I'm just performing and working the on the campaign. I helped, behind the scenes a little bit with the What's Your Elephant and that Art
Hmm.
Woman, but I don't have any projects going on
Okay.
at this very moment.
So right now it's kind of a little bit of R&R.
Yes, and I have a lot of stuff that, I created while in my depression states that now I have the time and,
Mm-hmm.
better in the better headspace where I'm like, okay, let's do this now. Let's do that.
Right, right, right.
And sometimes it happens. It's okay to, like we were saying earlier, sometimes we got to check out and take a break for our mental health.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my shows, I end my shows with musical therapy because I can connect with music. I ever since as a child, I would make noise with pans and hangers. Funny enough, I don't see these kind of hangers anymore much these days. But when I was a child, you had some hangers that were wood and wire, and the wire would wrap around the ends of the wood, and I would take the wire part off and use the wood as drumsticks, and I would knock on pans and pots and the chair or table, anything. And
And I forgot, and I left that out too. I did a little bit of band back in school.
there you go. See,
So
here
it's
it
whatever I
is.
could get.
What
Yeah.
what instruments do you play?
I was a percussionist, but that wasn't for me.
Why?
I
Drums are too heavy?
mm, well, it's a lot of rhythm, and it's not just hitting one thing at a time. It was like you had to work a whole thing. So I stuck to the piano. That was the best thing out of all the instruments in that category back then.
But
Because
piano is not one thing. You
well, the
have
piano,
all
the
these
one thing,
fingers.
yeah, but for me that was a lot easier than, I don't know. I guess I wasn't really that passionate about the drums. Like it's an
Okay.
instrument that I love listening to and
Mhm.
watching,
Yeah.
but maybe not playing. And with the piano, once you learn how to play the piano, you technically can play like 100 instruments at the same time because
Mm. Yeah.
you can do little drums over the piano. You can do flutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um. Well, when you're on the synthesizers,
yeah, when
but
you're a pro at it, but
yeah, I have dabbled in that too. So you see, we have so much in common, so much more in common than we do realize. But
yep.
the arts will do that to you.
Hmm.
It will connect you on another level. And I again appreciate love the fact that you are trying to connect with so many that are trying to shun away, really. And I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing because you're making a difference. Not just to the
Thank you.
ones that know what you're doing already, but the ones that are hearing you for the first time. They're realizing that there are other things that are going on. And sometimes they need to pay attention to those that are around them and not just what they are dealing with. Or even to just recognize that they themselves need to say something to someone.
Hmm.
And I want to thank you for encouraging that and to encourage you to continue to encourage that. Because you are here for a reason, Ari Safari.
We all are.
Thank you for taking the time out to come and chat with us. Again, please give your social media information so that people can reach out to you.
Yeah, my Instagram is Ari Safari Poetry. Same on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm glad that I did this. Thank you. Any moment where I can help or share my story to help somebody else is a great opportunity. And I'll be tuned in for other shows as well.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for coming on. I'm probably gonna need you to connect me with Mandy.
Okay. For the movie, no problem.
Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again, Ari. Go get some rest.
Yes, you got me past my bedtime. It was worth it though.
Yeah, that tends to happen with the night shift.
With the night shift, yes.
All
All
right.
right, Kevin Stu.
All
Until
right.
next time.
Until the next time, you take care.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ari Safari. She's just such a pleasant soul. Um, there is so much that we can learn from this young lady and from our children. So, you know, you don't want to be too caught up in yourselves. Recognize these little, look at your friends, and if there are changes, you need to pay closer attention so that you can recognize these changes and encourage them to talk to someone. If they don't want to talk to you, encourage them to talk to someone, because you could be saving a life. Think about it. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we get to have an extended musical therapy tonight. And we're going to go a few places with this. Hang on to your hats. We're in for a ride. It's coming up to the Carnival Strong End. Also, this Saturday, the celebrity basketball game. You're going to hear more about these things in just a few. We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Greetings, Massive and Crew. It's the second annual Caribbean Celeb Basketball Game 2018 featuring FFY Team versus VP Records Team. Going down on Saturday, October 6th at the VEH Youth Enrichment Center Indoor Basketball Gym, 7000 Miramar Parkway, Miramar, Florida, 33023. It's going to be at 1:30 p.m. It's a free event. This year's event is in aid of the Shaq's Hope Foundation in order to help those affected by sickle cell disease. Donations will be accepted at the game. Special appearance by Miss Jamaica, Florida 2018, Dion Calendar. Commentary by Sir Rockwell, Nico Rebel, and Echo Slim. Big up our sponsors: Da Flavor Radio, Elite Global, JTMC Enterprise, Rock the Box, The Foundation Radio, South Florida Caribbean News, Music Meets Sports, Reggae Flavors, Real Rockers, All Time Printing, Heavy Beat, Vin Studio, Gifted Roots, GMAC Music Solutions, Miss Jamaica, Florida, Karen Vibes, Like That, and Kevin Stew. It's the second annual Caribbean Celeb Basketball Game.
Roll out with Island Rock Music and have fun. Check out the quality apparel at islandrockmusic.com. Designed for you and your crew. Hear the music, feel the breeze, with selected tracks and more. Available now from the online store at islandrockmusic.com. islandrockmusic.com. Log on today and ride with us.
Stepping, these are roots vibrations. Stepping.
Hi, this is Cara Manti, and you're listening to DJ Kevin Stew, and this is The Night Shift.
Denied me of my dignity. You cannot be the one for me. Never was, never could be. See, I was lost in my confusion and got caught settling. Every day I pray and wait for you to somehow magically turn into my king. But you never did, never did. Only broken promises you never keep. You didn't know what to do, so I'm taking my heart from you. Oh, I couldn't take it. I almost lost it 'cause you had all of me and you didn't know what to do. I gave you my heart, you tore it apart, and I'm taking it back from you. You had all of me and you didn't know what to do. I gave you my heart, you tore it apart, and I'm taking it back. How could you hurt me, then turn your back on me? You hurt me, you had no time for me, and now you're desperately trying to get back with me. You cannot be the one for me. Never was, never could be. See, we were stuck in a delusion. I got caught settling. Every day I pray and wait for you to somehow magically turn into my king. But you never did, never did. Only broken promises you never keep. You didn't know what to do, so I'm taking my heart from you. Oh, I couldn't take it. I almost lost it 'cause you had all of me and you didn't know what to do. I gave you my heart, you tore it apart, and I'm taking it back from you. You had all of me and you didn't know what to do. I gave you my heart, you tore it apart, and I'm taking it back. I've learned my lesson. It's time to stop second guessing.
This is the sound of Alana.
Just one, I gotta take it back, no questions.
Yeah, Alana Acosta. The track is called Taking It Back.
Stop second guessing, move on. Just one, I gotta take it back, no questions. You had all of me, I was your queen, gave you my heart unconditionally. I'm taking my heart from you. How could you hurt me? All of me. I gotta take my heart from you. Just one. How could you hurt me? You could not love me. Just give my heart to me. You had all of me. Now I'm taking it back from you. Now I'm taking it back.
This is the sound of J.E.
I couldn't stay.
from the album Reggae Prescription.
Was my life. Chose to walk away.
This track is called Gaslit.
Block the first fist that you threw. I should have run the moment that I knew.
Want to say thanks to JTMC Enterprises for this segment.
I chose my life. I couldn't stay. I chose my life.
It's our extended musical therapy.
Away. I chose my life. I choose life. I couldn't stay. I chose my life. I choose life. Chose to walk away. I choose life. Casket without ring. I choose life. Casket without ring.
If you think that life out there will bring you happiness, well, girl, just stop and think before you make that step.
This is the sound of J. Will.
That smile of yours will open all the doors.
With the Raps and Kush band. It's called Life Out There.
You tell me that you're leaving and you really don't care. While you want to go and leave my life in despair. Tell me that you wouldn't mind a really rich man. Want to move the kids into a big mansion, girl. Want to drive up in a shot and crisp van where the rims them deep and have navigation. Well, baby girl, with all of that, nothing no wrong. But with you, Williams, you know say you're strong. You know that I'm a soldier, we have ambition, have good ideals and of inspiration. Wow, come to sing for the whole nation. So, by my side, that's where you belong, girl. If you think that life out there will bring you happiness, well, girl, just stop and think before you make that step. If you think that smile of yours will open all the doors, well, girl, just stop and think. We've been traveling on for far too long for you to throw in the towel, no keep it in your hand. Enough night we did sit down and a reason out a plan. Now you change like the weather start for act so stubborn. I know the grass is looking greener on the other side. Remember you knock pony parks and I make them take you for a ride. You know what shoot me a talk, I see it in your eyes. What more will it take, girl, for you to realize? Sometime in a life, girl, you got to take chances. Got to compromise and listen to what your man says. Open up your eyes, girl, and take second glances. And don't be tricked by glitter, gold and fancies. No, if you think that life out there will bring you happiness, well, girl, just stop and think before you make that step. If you think that smile of yours will open all the doors, well, girl, just stop and think. If you stick by me, I will stick by you. There's nothing in this world that we can't do. I know the trials in life can make we lose our minds, but we gotta stay focused, eyes on the prize. The sky is the limit, baby girl, let's stay in it. Troubles will come, girl, but yes, we could win it. Yes, we can win it, girl. Just stick with it, girl. I promise I won't let you down. I never make you wear a frown. Stick with me, girl. Stick with me, girl. Stick with me, girl. If you think that life out there will bring you happiness, well, girl, just stop and think before you make that step. If you think that smile of yours will open all the doors, well, girl, just stop and think.
From one Raps and Kush to another.
Said happy. Oh
This time it's G. Cole.
Every once upon a time.
Yeah, the same G. Cole that hosts Homegrown with G. Cole.
Heart was beating. Oh, that special night.
This is called Imperfect People.
Eyes made mine. The world will never see it. No, baby. We're from totally different worlds. Oh, yeah. But if only they could feel it, they would understand how much I love you, girl. Love you. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, no special sign from above, no special sign from above. We're just two imperfect people. I break your heart. I won't ever cause you pain. Now, baby, let's just be those two links, baby, that will form that perfect chain. Yeah. I'm not your daddy's favorite. Nah, baby, and your mom's no fan of mine. Oh, let's just do our thing and show the world our love can stand the test of time. Whoa, sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, no special sign from above, no special sign from above. We're just two imperfect people.
How many reggae tunes you have a key change in it like this? G. Cole, Raps and Kush, Imperfect People.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, Kevin, you're so
It's musical therapy.
Seen a girl around the corner, all it did was make me think of you and I'm missing you.
The son of Gramps Morgan.
Feel like I can't take no more. I've been
The track is called 1 in a Million.
my calls and I'm missing you. Girl, I know I messed up, but I fessed up. Thought a little time would bring you back. Now I'm a wreck, cause it clearly wasn't so. So tell me what to do or what to say to make it right. Cause I need your arms around me every night. To me you're worth a trillion. You're one in a million. I'll never find a woman like you. If you would give back your heart, I swear by all love, I'd spend a lifetime making it up to you. Every night coming home to you. Oh, oh.
headphones are not quite forgiving with the glasses on, boy.
Friends been saying time again, gotta try to get yourself together right. I'm missing you. I do. Sure I get the magnitude, but refuse to give up hope and say that I'm missing you. Just want you to know that 10 years from now, I'll still be knocking at your door now. Your love is irreplaceable, irreplaceable. So tell me what to do or what to say to make it right. 'Cause I need your arms around me every night. To me you're worth a trillion, you're one in a million. I'll never find a woman like you. If you would give back your heart, I swear by our love, I'd spend a lifetime making it up to you. Every night coming home to you. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh,
I'd like to hold you in my arms, hold and make you mine, because I know that when you're with me, everything will be fine.
This is the sound of Annette Brissett.
You are everything to me a girl could ever.
The track is called My Everything.
You fill my day with joy and laughter. What more can I need? You are my everything, everything to me. Yes, you are. You are my everything, my everything. These arms are made for hugging, baby, and you fit right in. Come winter, summer, autumn, spring, you're my kind of man. You are everything to me a girl would ever need. You fill my day with joy and laughter. What more can I need? You are, yes, you are my everything, my everything, everything, baby. You are, yes, you are my everything, my everything, my everything, my. You are my everything. About you, baby. So I'd like to hold you in my arms, hold and make you mine, because I know that when you're with me, everything will be fine. You are everything to me a woman ever needs. You fill my day with joy and laughter. What more can I need? You are, I know, my everything. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are my everything, my everything.
Here's my story that's never been told. I'm no longer a child, I'm grown old.
This is the sound of Empress Unique.
Looking out of the
A
window
track called My Story.
at so many lost souls, wondering what's
Welcome 880.
and if it's ever been told. Listening to people that don't really know, 'cause my story's never never been told. I lived a life that many didn't know. I shared a smile, they even said it gold. But deep down inside is where my pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know. Deep down inside is where the pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know. There's three sides to a story, but you can hold what you hold. I lived a life that many didn't know. I shared a smile, they even said it gold. But deep down inside is where the pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know. Deep down inside is where my pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know. Only I know the truth that has never been told. Remember, there's three sides to this story. I lived a life that many didn't know. I shared a smile, they even said it gold. But deep down inside is where my pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know. Deep down inside is where the pain shows. Not in my lover, didn't know.
Girl, you know for you, I'm doing more for we. Yes, it's true. You're always there for me. Girl, for you, I'm making more for we. What I would do to treat you like a lady. This woman is real, she a no actress. She is my rock rasta, know she a me watch. Money in her bank, cause she got good interest. In her love and only earth me a go invest. And just give me good advice during my conquest. Only one fi see the chain of him have success. Have me back every time she's like my bulletproof vest. I know I feel rate this a woman, yeah. Yes, as the best. You know for you,
This is the sound of Jenna
for we.
featuring MJ. Jenna hails out of New York,
You're always there for me.
and Jenna has a really interesting story.
I'm making more for we. What I would do to treat you like
Jenna will be visiting us in South Florida come the 19th. You can look him up. Jenna, Genah.
more for you. I'm doing more for we. Yes, it's true. You're always there for me. Girl, for you, I'm making more for we. What I would do to treat you like a lady.
So since I didn't take that break at the top of the hour,
For things you do and you say, I want to do more for you no matter what they say. Make sure anything I do, it is legitimate.
and we're actually in the
Yes, we did it.
Wake Up and Live segment.
Every day me make straight. One for me facing my children. Pass the worst year. Set a foundation for them so their life could be great. Me no want to see them suffer, so me keep a clean slate. But I hope for you. When you are the one that choose, who love me is forever. Said I love you to the end I do. To love me.
Yeah, that Wake Up and Live segment.
I don't wanna waste no time.
multitasking thing, you see. We're gonna take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're just gonna, let me see, a little bit of soca music to bring the carnival vibe. Let's see where the music takes us. I still haven't played some of the new music yet, and I'm feeling this reggae vibe still. You know, I'm feeling kind of mellow after that conversation that we had earlier with Ari. I'm still feeling kind of mellow. So we'll see where we go after the commercial, after the break. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com, your links to worship and praise. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy P, Danny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Ambalik, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations of the rhythm: Zeal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin Stew believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christina. It's a hot it up loud. Kill the beast. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Yeah, now. Yeah. In case somebody's wondering, how am I still standing with all my years of fighting? How can I keep smiling? But make no mistake, all my dark days.
I guess reggae music won out. Welcome back to the show. We're closing out with some musical therapy. I want to say thank you to rockthebox.net. The Wake Up and Live show comes your way 7 a.m. till 11 tomorrow. All being well, Naomi Cohen should be the guest on the Wake Up and Live show tomorrow.
Sing it aloud. In other words, first
Around about 10:15, 10:20 thereabouts.
make no mistake. All my dark days.
It really goes downhill with a drive-by.
The making of my legend. Yeah.
So I pop into the studio around about 10:20.
Champion. Never underestimate just chosen. I was born.
And that's when everybody says, okay, here it goes.
Never underestimate just strength. The silver line behind the dark cloud.
This is the sound of Crescenti.
Yeah.
It's called Heart of a Champion.
And that's no doubt.
If you have that heart,
Take it
this one is for you.
with a smile. Yeah, yeah. As firm as any real man should. Yeah, yeah. I need no favors, no handouts. No, no. I know someday mine will come. I'm on nothing. I was made with the heart of a champion. Never underestimate just chosen. I was born with the heart of a champion. Never underestimate just strength. I was made with the heart of a champion. Never underestimate just chosen. I was made with the heart of a champion. Never underestimate just strength.
Yo, big respect to all of the jugglers, you know? Jugglers. Hustlers. Got to find a way, got to make a way.
17 minutes to the top of the hour. This is how the Phil Watkins.
Yeah. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know,
You got to stay alive, got to create your means to survive.
It's called the Hustlers Anthem.
all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers.
You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive. You coulda hustling at the market with oranges in the basket. Bills we pay, money as we want it. Murder poverty, whoa, that's the target. We want we life sweet like chocolate. Hear the nuts man, him a come down the street. Hear the nuts can't get a whistle so sweet. To him a ball of nuts, me say it's so unique. May have to grab a ital for eat.
This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers.
You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive.
This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers.
You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive. We've got to fight this a struggle to get out a rubble. So we stay
on the hustle, do we little juggle?
say we not create no trouble.
Juggle, we a juggle.
We got to make our means of survival.
Yes, we have to
Got to make our means to survive.
We got to create our means of survival.
You knock down the factory, no opportunities.
This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers.
You know, you got to stay alive, got to create your means to survive.
This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers.
You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive.
As I'm feeling overwhelmed, yeah. 'Cause I've worked the hardest day. Before I rest my weary head, yeah. I just wanna say to you, yeah.
Off the request line.
It's you that I want when I'm feeling down.
Got a grabs for you.
It's you that I love when I think of the sweetest time.
track is called Darling It's You.
All is well, and I'm living a perfect life, darling, with you. Darling, it's you, yeah. As our love grows stronger, yeah. I don't plan to ease up the pace, baby. Times I wish we could speak longer.
Told you didn't know what you're gonna get.
And now all of my dreams
Toss a little berries in there.
gone away, and loneliness came yesterday, and my heart's filled with pain and love for you. What did I do? Why are we through? If only I knew, Lord, if only I knew.
10 minutes to go.
Feeling like I'm not your man. I'm confused, yes I am.
I guess we'll be ending it nice and easy tonight.
I'm gone too long.
This is how we're gonna close out the night shift week. Nice and easy.
If cheating was allowed, then I'd live outside. What did I do? Why are we through? If only I knew, Lord, if only I knew. I'm gonna burn in the morning sun, will the evening come now? Will not leave until you tell me what I've done.
You're very welcome. She is a true light.
Tell me what I've done.
Son of Annette Brissett
Even talk to
with Beres Hammond.
when I needed a friend.
The one I call the original.
To love is such a
track called There For You.
everybody knows exactly what it means, but I'll be there. And when you want me to, I'll come running, oh baby. And baby,
You see, this multitasking thing, let me tell you.
let me be yours, oh. Got to be the
9 minutes to the top of the hour. I want to thank you, each and everyone, for tuning in.
you want me to.
Thank you for sharing, those of you who shared. Thank you for dragging someone in, those of you who did.
You taught me how to love again. You even talked to me when I needed a friend. To love is such a wonderful thing. Not everybody knows exactly what it means, but I'll be there. And when you want me to, I'll come running, oh baby. And babe, I'll be right by your side. As long as the sun, I'll be forever yours. And I'll be gotta be there. Yeah. And when you want me to, then I'll come running, baby. Right by your side, as long as the sun, I'll be forever yours, baby. For the rest of my days,
You taught me how to give and take. You're the only one I know. Smile at me when I make a mistake. You got all the way to bring me joy. Can't you see how happy I am? I feel like a little boy. Gotta be there for you. I'll be there for you when you want me to. I'll come running, baby. I'll be by your side as long as the sun shines. I'll be there for you, baby, for the rest of my life. I'll be there for you when you want me to. I'll come running, baby. I'll be there for the rest of my life. As long as the sun shines.
We're gonna lay it on right on early 'cause the heat is on, yeah. And I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on now. Now that we are moving in the groove. This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew, darling. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you why.
Thank you, Joanna Marie.
'Cause after the storm, there'll be a calm.
With a passive-aggressive tune.
And I will keep you warm.
I'll keep you warm.
Hey, baby.
You're not the only one that can do it. You know, I still don't have the hope turn on this rhythm. I need that under new management.
Turn early 'cause the heat is on, yeah. And I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on now. Now that we are moving in the groove. Yeah. I'm gonna say hush, darling. Hush, even if it hurts to cry. Hush, darling. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you why. Hush, darling.
paradise plunge. Just know me like we knew we never had to
After
stay
you
away.
beat up the liquor man,
Silence.
tell him that he didn't put up a fight.
You never put up a
This is on Naomi Cohen, just reminding you, Naomi will be on the Wake Up and Live show tomorrow with Sir Rockwell.
silence. Spending time on the regular.
Earlier she had a
It's the days when you just come up on myself.
fun chat
If I'm the book, then you're the editor.
with Marlon on the Real Rockers show.
Always bringing all the best in us. It's not a rushing man. Even though you test me cause I stress you, I'm not no free man. It's just a trusting man. Doing life together, got each other, I'm not no team. You never put up a fight, no. Paradise flow. You just know me like we knew we never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence. You never put up a fight, no. Paradise flow. You just know me like we knew we never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence.
Tell them to no trouble me now. Alright, tell them to no trouble me now. Alright, tell them to no trouble me now. Oh Lord, it's hard to be.
I want to thank you all for tuning in this week. My friends from Wild Tree,
Oh Lord,
big ups to you.
want see how me rumble.
If you're tuning in from behind the sheets,
Look, me put down with your gangster ways.
yeah, not under the sheets,
Put down
behind the sheets.
Carp and Rasta and pagan ways out of nowhere.
If you're under the bed,
Misbehave.
inside the closet,
Me woman and a passing place. Lord of mercy, come take.
bunking it on the couch,
Every time you come now,
wherever you are.
so we
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
change my name as if I did one.
I want to encourage you to remember to look out for your neighbors. And of course, your neighbors are not just the people that live in your development.
One time.
But if you walk, ride, or drive, the people that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, these are all your neighbors. I encourage you to do something good for one of them today, because you never know which one of them is going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stewart, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Rolling out to the night shift, where we encourage you to have acceptance through enlightenment. Why? Because it's a movement. I encourage you to be good, but of course, if you can't be good, just be good at it. See y'all at the basketball tournament, on the basketball game on Saturday. Remember, there's a change of venue. It's at the VEH Youth Empowerment Center on Miramar Parkway. I'll see you then. Take care. Peace and love. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Until Monday.
It's hard to be humble. Passes people. Want to see how me rumble. Look how you take me away from trouble, from ways of evil now. This boy won't draw me out. Turn me back in.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.